The Malabar Independent Syrian Church, also known as the Thoji Sabha, is a Christian church centered in Kerala, India. It is one of the churches of the St. Thomas Christian community, which traces its origins to the evangelical activity of Thomas the Apostle in the 1st century. Considered part of the Syriac Orthodox group of churches in India, the church split from the main body of India's Malankara Church in 1772. The church obtained its current name after a court verdict in 1862, although the church is independent under the Malankara umbrella. The church faith and traditions are strictly Oriental Orthodox, adhering to the West Syrian Rite and consistently using Western Syriac and Malayalam during the Holy Kurbana. Today the church remains small, with about 35,000 members, and maintains good relations with the other Malankara churches. The members of the church are known as Nazaranis or Mardoma Suryani Nazarani. History. The St. Thomas Christians trace their origins to Thomas the Apostle, who according to tradition proselytized in India in the 1st century. By the 7th century they were part of the Church of the East, centered in Persia. The entire community remained united until the 17th century, when disputes with the Portuguese Padroada in India led to the Combe and Cross Oath of 1653 and the division of the St. Thomas Christians into Catholic and independent branches. The independent branch, known as the Malankara Church, forged a relationship with the Syriac Orthodox Church of Antioch. However, relations between the Syriac Orthodox hierarchy and the native clergy were sometimes strained. In 1772, Bishop Mar Gregorios, a representative of the Syriac Orthodox hierarchy from the Middle East, had grown dissatisfied with how the Metropolitan Mar Dionysius I had treated him. Against Dionysius' wishes, Gregorios consecrated as bishop a leading dissenter, the monk Atamong at Curian, in a secret but canonically legitimate ceremony. The new bishop took the name Mar Cyril, and he was designated Gregorius' sole heir. Cyril claimed authority over the parishes of Kochi, and initially received the support of the Raja of Kochi. However, Dionysius saw him as a threat to his power, and in 1774 he appealed to the Raja and to the British authorities in India to suppress the rival bishop. Cyril left for Thoji, outside their jurisdiction, and established what would become an independent church. This was the first of several churches to split off from the Malankara Church. Cyril's church was always small, but maintained stability by attracting devoted priests and emphasizing regularity in the ecclesiastical order. In 1794 Cyril consecrated his brother Gevargies as bishop. Gevargies succeeded Cyril as Mar Cyril II in 1802, and the succession has proceeded unbroken since. As a result of an 1862 court case, the Madras High Court confirmed the Thoji Church was independent Malankara Church, and it has subsequently been known as the Malabar Independent Syrian Church. Ecumenical relations. The Malabar Independent Syrian Church maintains good relations with the other Malankara churches, especially its relationship with Malankara Mardoma Syrian Church. Despite its small size, it has had a significant impact on the history of the St. Thomas Christian community. On several occasions, Thoji bishops have stepped in to consecrate bishops for the other churches when the episcopal succession, and therefore the churches themselves, were in danger. Mar Philoxenus II Kidangan of the Thoji Church consecrated 3 successive bishops in the Malankara Church. Mar Dionysius II on the 22nd of March 1816, Mar Dionysius III on the 19th of October 1817, and Mar Dionysius IV on the 27th of August 1825. Malabar Independent Syrian Church is a member of the Christian Conference of Asia, the Council of Churches in India, and the Kerala Council of Churches. Other ecumenical links have been developed, not least with the Anglican and Lutheran churches. This has been facilitated through a support group based in England, where the church is a registered charitable trust. Metropolitans. The Metropolitans of the Malabar Independent Syrian Church. Mar Kyrillos Abraham. Mar Cyril II. Scaria Mar Philexnus. Gevarghis Mar Philexnus II. Gevarghis Mar Kyrillos. Joseph Mar Kyrillos. Joseph Mar Athanasius. Gevarghis Mar Kyrillos. Kuriakosa Mar Kyrillos. Gevarghis Mar Kyrillos. Paulos Mar Philexnus. Matthews Mar Kyrillos. Joseph Mar Kyrillos. After constitutional change, Metropolitan Hasio Mar Basilios Kyrillos I. Biographies. Following is the list of metropolitans of the Malabar Independent Syrian Church. Mar Kyrillos Abraham. Cyril was the first metropolitan of the church. As a boy he impressed the visiting bishop Mar Avanios of Jerusalem by correcting a deacon's liturgical mistake at Mulanthuradi Church. Avanios later ordained both Kurian and his brother Gevarghis as deacons, then priests, before returning to Jerusalem in 1751. He later became a monk under Mar Basilios and Mar Gregorios, and was a leader in the local opposition to Malankara Metropolitan Mar Dionysius I. He was consecrated as bishop by Gregorios, fomenting the tensions with Dionysius that ultimately resulted in the formation of the independent Thorzayurt Church. He died on 10 July 1802. Mar Cyril II. Known as the Younger Bava, Gevarghis was the younger brother of Mar Cyril I. He was ordained as a deacon and then priest along with his brother by Mar Avanios. Cyril I consecrated him as bishop and named him his successor in 1794, and he succeeded his brother as Mar Cyril II in 1802. He consecrated Scaria Mar Philexnus and Joseph Mar Avanios as suffragans. Gevarghis Mar Kyrillos died on 29 May 1809, and was laid to rest at Vetikal Deira, Mulanthuradi. Scaria Mar Philexnus. He was consecrated by Gevarghis Mar Kyrillos. Gevarghis Mar Philexnus II. He was consecrated by Scaria Mar Philexnus. During his period Marthomariax was the metropolitan of the Malankara Church, but because he was not accepted by the people and clergy, the Reverend Itup Kathanar from Kunimkulam was selected to succeed him. However, there was no bishop to consecrate him, so members of the Malankara Church invited Mar Philexnus from Thorzayurt for the consecration. Even though his ancestors were driven out of the Malankara Church, without a grudge he accepted the invitation. The Reverend Itup Kathanar was consecrated on the 22nd of March 1816, and was given the episcopal title Pulakotal Joseph Mar Dionysius. However, in November that same year, Joseph Mar Dionysius died, because there were no other metropolitans in Malankara at that time. Mar Philoxenus was accepted as Malankara metropolitan and the concerned governments issued royal proclamation. This proclamation was lifelong. On 19 October 1817, he consecrated Punathara Mar Dionysius and returned to Thorzayurt, but Punathara Mar Dionysius died on 17 May 1825. Mar Philoxenus was again invited and he consecrated Chepad Mar Dionysios for the Malankara Church. Mar Philoxenus died on 7 February 1829. Gevarghis Mar Kyrillos. Mar Philexnus did not appoint any successors, so Thorzayurt Church invited Chepad Mar Dionysios of the Malankara Church, and it was he who consecrated Gevarghis Mar Kyrillos. Joseph Mar Kyrillos. Gevarghis Mar Kyrillos died without appointing a successor, so Matthews Mar Athanasius, Metropolitan of the Malankara Church, consecrated the Reverend Joseph Kathanar and gave him the episcopal title Joseph Mar Kyrillos. At that time Euyakim Mar Kyrillos, a bishop sent by the Patriarch of Antioch, was also in Kerala. In 1857, he filed a civil case stating that he was the Malankara Metropolitan and he had the rights to the Thorzayurt Church and its properties. In 1862, the Madras High Court issued the final verdict stating that the church was an independent Syrian church in Malabar and that Joachim Markourelos had no claim on the church or its properties. Because of this case, Thorsyour Church was given the name Malabar Independent Syrian Church. Joseph Athanasius. Joseph Markourelos consecrated his successor, Joseph Athanasius. At this time, the Malankara Church was split into two, the Jacobites and the Metron faction. Thomas Athanasius, appointed by Matthews Athanasius, died in August 1893 without appointing a successor. So Joseph Athanasius consecrated Titus I as Metropolitan of the Marthoma Church. Gevarghis Markourelos. He was consecrated by Joseph Athanasios. He consecrated Poulos Athanasius, assisted by Thomas Athanasius of the Marthoma Church as suffragan. 2 schools were opened during his time. He also sent deacons to study at the Cambridge National Institute and at the Serampore College. He was there for the consecrations of 3 metropolitans of the Marthoma Church. As a priest he attended the consecration of Titus I Marthoma and as metropolitan, the consecrations of Titus II and Abraham Marthoma. Kyriakos Markourelos. He was consecrated by Titus II Marthoma, assisted by Abraham Marthoma of the Marthoma Church. Gevarghis Markourelos. He was consecrated by Dr. Yohanan Marthoma, assisted by Matthews Athanasius of the Marthoma Church. Paulos Philexnus. He was consecrated by Dr. Yohanan Marthoma of the Marthoma Church. While metropolitan, he joined the Syro-Malankara Catholic Church, in union with the Pope. Matthews Markourelos. When the previous metropolitan Paulos Philexnus joined the Syro-Malankara Catholic Church, Miscellaneous was left without a hierarchy. Matthews Markourelos was consecrated by Dr. Alexander Marthoma, of the Marthoma Church, to replace him. Joseph Markourelos. He was consecrated by Dr. Alexander Marthoma, of the Marthoma Church. On 28 May 2001, the Sabah Council unanimously decided to consecrate the Metropolitan Joseph Markourelos as the Valium Metropolitan, and the Constitution of Malabar Independent Syrian Church was modified accordingly. Now Metropolitan Joseph Markourelos is the Valium Metropolitan of Malabar Independent Syrian Church. H. Abun More Basilius Cyril. The Sabah Mandalam of the Malabar Independent Syrian Church held on 10 December 2000 unanimously elected Rev. Fr. K.C. Sunny as the Metropolitan-elect. On 3 March 2001 he was consecrated as Ramban. The Very Reverend Sunny Ramban was consecrated bishop on 10 March 2001 and named Cyril Mar Basilius. On 28 May 2001 he was installed as Metropolitan Mar Basilius. Institutions. Parishes Street, George's Cathedral, Thojila, Thrissur DT, Kerala. St. George's Church, Perambur, Cooks Road, Chennai, Tamil Nadu. St. Thomas Church, Kunnamkulam, Guruvayur Road, Thrissur DT. St. George's Church, Karikad, Thrissur DT, Kerala. Markourelos Church, Karatakara, Thrissur DT, Kerala. St. Ades Church, Porkulam, Patshanji, Thrissur DT, Kerala. St. Mary's Church, Patshanji, Thrissur DT, Kerala. St. George Church, Kalumpuram, Kadavalur Post, Thrissur DT, Kerala. St. Organs Church, Charlisari, Palakkad DT, Kerala. St. Mary's Church, Perumanur, Palakkad DT, Kerala. St. George's Church, Peringode, Palakkad DT, Kerala. Markourelos Bava Church, Ernakulam, Kerala. St. George's Church, Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. Chapel Street, George's Chapel, Akatia, Kerala. Marbahanan Chapel, Anjur Bazaar, Kerala. Sleba Chapel, Thojila, Thrissur DT, Kerala. Markarilos Bhava Chapel, Ottapalave DT, Kerala. St. George Chapel, Thiruthikkad DT. St. Kurilos Chapel, Bangalore, Karnataka. Schools Syrian Christian UPS, Charlisari, Palakkad DT, Kerala. St. George's HS, Thojila, Thrissur DT, Kerala. Markarilos Memorial UPS, Porkulam, Patshanji, Thrissur DT, Kerala. CMUP. School, Thorsur, Thrissur DT, Kerala. Hospital Markarilos Mission Hospital, Anjur, Thojila PO, Thrissur DT, Kerala 680,520. Press Street, Thomas Press, Kunnamkulam. Guruvaya Road, Kunnamkulam, Thrissur DT, Kerala 680,503.